We begin tonight with reactions to the comments of Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai berating governors from the southern part of the country over open grazing. He says the governors are politicizing the issue and that the governors have passed a law that they cannot enforce.
The Governors Forum has already taken a position that open grazing is not a sustainable way of livestock production and we must move towards ranching. Okay, but moving towards ranching cannot be done overnight. We have to have a plan, we have to have resources, we have to implement it sensibly. It's not a matter of populist legislation or saying that tomorrow this or that. It's not the solution. We have taken a position as northern state governors and we're implementing that. And in my state, for instance, we are developing a huge ranch at Damao where we'll sedentarize the herders. And that's the solution long term. But can it be done overnight? No. This project we are doing will cost us about 10 billion naira. The CBN is supporting us with about 7.5 billion. And it will take about 2 years to do. We will be settling 1,500 Fulani herder families and hope that they will see that there are alternative ways of producing livestock instead of running up and down with cattle and going into people's farms and causing all kinds of problems. So we want to solve the problem. What is unhelpful is to politicize a situation and pass legislation that you cannot implement. So we have taken a position and we are working round the clock to implement that position. That is the solution. Legislation, you can legislate. Let's wait and see. I wish them all the best of luck.
Governor of Kaduna State there, El-Rufai. With us tonight is the chairman of the Southern Governors Forum and Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. Glad to have you join us, Governor, on News Night. Well, Governor Nasir El-Rufai posits that you have passed a law. Okay, he says you've passed a law that you cannot execute. He says the governors are deploying too much energy on laws that would take time to materialize. Is it correct to also say you are politicizing this matter?
Well, I listened to my brother Governor El-Rufai of Kaduna State. I heard all he said, and I am not surprised. Somebody we have interacted for quite a while, so I'm not surprised at his utterances. It's all right by him. The important thing is this: we have never, at any point in time, tried to talk to other states. We have more or less restricted ourselves to taking. That is what we are going to continue to do. What that support through CBN, fantastic. This is not something that all of us can get, but it's all right. He's having it, so he's happy about it. But I can assure him of one thing: there is no politics about anti-open grazing law. What politics? We say people are destroying the livelihood of our own people, and we say we are not going to allow it to continue. And it's certain. If he says it's a law we cannot enforce, let him wait. Or let him bring his others here. They will go back to inform him whether or not we're able to enforce the laws. He will get to know. There's no need for him to be in a hurry. The people will go back to him and tell him that it is being enforced and we are going to enforce it.
All right. How exactly do you plan to enforce this ban on open grazing? As a matter of fact, the former governor of Nasarawa State also says that this will not stand the test of time. And do you have the capacity in terms of not just personnel to enforce? Do you have the funding to do it?
Let me assure you, in Ondo State, as at date, the law is being enforced to the letters. And open grazing is almost a thing of the past in Ondo State. And those who have, in any way, they have had infractions on the law by them, they have paid for it. Today, we have established a process in which you destroy any other person's farm. You are not moving with your cattle until you have paid reparation. And they are paying. And they have paid. So many of them, not 10, not 20 others. And after paying, we fine them. Because according to the law, they pay fine. And we make them appreciate that, look, after fine, the second time you offend or you carry out any of this, your open grazing, as a second time offender, you are going to go to prison. And they're happy to say, look, release, we are paying, release our cows to us, and we say to them, you hire a vehicle, carry that your cow, we will escort you to the border of the town, of the state. And they go. And they are going in numbers. So anybody who you need to get to Ondo State, they will let you know that it is being enforced to the letters. And ATLR people, even in Ondo State, are cooperating in that when they get their people, they are the ones that will rush and say, look, these people don't understand. They will explain to them, don't do it again. So I don't know what problem my brother Erufai has, but he should know that. Let him ask the people, the herders here in Ondo State, and they will tell him that we are implementing the law to the letters.
Interesting, Governor. He says, let me also follow up on the Governor Nasi Erufai. He says they are developing a huge ranch in his state to centralize herders, which project will cost about 10 billion naira. Now, CBN, it says, is supporting with 7.5 billion to settle 1,500 herders' families. Is there any plan by the southern governors, of which you are one, along this line, saying that these herders, or some of these herders, have been part of your community for too long?
No. You see, the herders who have been part of our community for a reasonable length of time don't destroy other people's farm. They know. But there are people who are more or less a standard to those who have been living with us, who have come to create problem. And the problem must be solved. Now, he says, as you said now, is having a 10 billion project. He's using CBN. Federal government is giving them 7 point something. How many states have they given? So if he's enjoying that privilege, good luck. We are not saying he's not entitled to it, but that is the fairness we have been talking about in the country. How many people, how many states do they extend some facilities to? So the important thing for us is that, look, you bring facilities. Some of us have ranches. We have Aoga, we have Akunu here in Ondo State, and we are having private investors coming, and Swago, that Southwest Agri Company, is also interested. So we are trying to do a bit within our own, within what we have. And let me tell him, it's not only ranching. We also said, look, you can have a sedentary form of herding and taking care of cattle. And that's why with FAO, we had last week a 1-week workshop for Metiala and those who, no, they're not the only ones that are rearing cattle, Metiala and others who have cattle, about feedlots that can be done and how to make it, where to buy it, and how to put them in a place and let them just eat. So ranching is big, but individuals can decide to have their ads in a particular place and bring food to them. So that's why we train them on feedlot. And I'm happy, Metiala people, they're happy to imbibe it. They are not waiting to be incited, as my brother want to do, that maybe they should flout the laws. That's why he's saying that it is not implementable, or whatever his words are. That is like an incite. He's wanting to incite the people. They are trying to side with people who say that they are going to oppose this law. And we are saying that if you oppose this law, you will face the consequences. That the law is there, has been passed by our own House of Assembly, or the Houses of Assembly in all the respective states. And I'm sure that those states, every state concerned that have the law, will implement the law to the letters.
Mr. Governor, if I may come in, it seems the pushback coming from the northern governors is as a result of the lack of, consultation between the southern governors and the northern governors? Was there any level of consultation with the northern governors, for the SGF to arrive at this ban on open grazing? And I'm not sure you've answered the question as to funding. Yes, you say that private sector, there's some level of collaboration. How exactly do you plan to fund this in a sustainable manner? Yeah.
Well, I think I've made myself clear that there is not much to add as to funding. I've said to you that we're going to involve private-public investment in ranching, providing feedlots, and those who want to take advantage can take advantage of that. But when you talk about the issue of consultation, on what? So I'm not, those who are herders, they are here in Ondo State. Where they have come from does not matter to me. What matters to us here is that you are destroying the means of livelihood of some people. And we have taken decision that we will not allow it to happen. So we must now go and beg and call it consultation that agree with us. But they themselves know that it is not in the interest of their people. You want to oppress these people and want to encourage them to take their cows from Kara and Moda to Lagos to do what? It is for you. It is in the best interest of their people. What he wants to do now is in their best interest. He owes them that duty. So my duty is to make sure that the livelihood of my people in Ondo State is not destroyed. That's all. That's all I owe. I owe no more than that. So I don't have to have consultation. But as Riley said, and as he said, we have had meetings, not only at Nigerian Governors Forum, even at NEC, the Economic Council. We've discussed about this. We have had meetings in which the president was there. And I recollect that I was one of those who said, look, it's better for you to encourage your people to haul their cows or cattle in trailers, move it to a particular point. People will come and buy there. It's not that they will now, if you love them, will you encourage them to be walking from Sokoto to Port Harcourt? For what purpose? So I believe that more than that way of life, it's anachronistic and it's not going to hold. And they know. And I'm happy that he's now setting up ranch. I'm happy that Katsina says he's going to set up his own ranch. Let them set up the ranch. We will come. Those of us who want to buy from here will come, will buy, put them in trailer and use it. And that's all. There won't be any problem. We are saying we don't want you to destroy the means of livelihood of our people. And we have been voted to protect them. We don't have to consult anybody.
All right. Let's shift a little bit. Are you not worried, Governor, how dangerous and polarizing your stance on the president or presidency, you're using the word must come from the South? Are you not further driving a wedge into the unity fabric of our nation?
You have left issue of ranching and cattle.
Yes.
We are discussing with you, Governor. So we're now talking. We're now talking presidency. Yes.
Talking about another matter.
Yeah.
Presidency of the country.
Yes.
Is that not it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. If that is it, it's not issue of putting a wedge or trying to, touch on the fabric of our country's unity. No, we are saying that the only way we will remain united as a country is that there must be fairness, there must be equity, and there must be justice. And the only thing that is fair in this country today is that if you had had a northern president for 8 years, it must come down to south this time. That's what we are saying. So we are not forcing it on people. We are going to go out to campaign about it. It is politics. It's a game of number. We are going to campaign about it. We are not forcing it. But it's always happened. Look at when President Obasanjo came in. The Southerners haven't been denied the opportunity by the annulment of June 12th. Everybody understood that, look, the presidency must come from South. And those two contested then were from South. So there's nothing wrong in it. That is understanding. And when he came after that, he went to the north. After that, everybody understood he should come from the north, and he went, and Akeredolu came in. Unfortunately, he passed on. Now, the vice president took over. Okay, he took advantage, contested. He contested his third time. He lost. And he went back to the north, too. And when he got to the north, my president, Mr. President Buhari, is going to complete his own 8 years. That is not. So those of us in the south, because we don't want the fabric of our unity to be affected, we will fold our hands and watch it, and presidency will go back to the north. Let's be fair to ourselves. They should be fair to us. They should even support it. That presidency now should return to the south.
Mr. Governor, the Northern Elders Forum, speaking through their spokesman, Hakeem Baba Ahmed, says that when the Southern governors use the word must, it connotes, something that is not too palatable for them. And then again, he says you cannot force any party to decide to, choose a Southern presidential candidate from the South. And now, when you say the presidency should come to the South in 2023, which specific South are you talking about? Because the Southeast is saying that it is their turn. When you say South, do you have the Southeast in mind?
Let me first of all tell you that I'm not going to respond to Azan or Baba Ahmed, or I'm not. But he's entitled to his own opinion. We are discussing on platform of governors. By the time we get to that level, we can respond to him. So, but for now, what we are saying is simple. That look, when we say South, those of us governors who are from South, who met in Asaba, 17, all of us belong to different areas in the South. We never said to segment South. We just said South. South is comprised of Southwest, Southeast, and South-South. And for us, if anybody comes from any of the places, it's all about us. So in South, we said we are not segmenting South.
That will cause another level of division if it does not go to the Southeast. When you say South is a blanket word, it covers South, South, Southwest, and the Southeast. In the name of fairness and justice, as SGF and as governor yourself, don't you think the Southeast is deserving of a shot at the presidency come 2023?
Oh, I'm not saying they're not deserving of a shot at the presidency. They are South. If it goes to them, we will support them. But what I'm saying is that the party decides. If the party decides to pick, like if APC decides to pick somebody from Southwest and PDP pick somebody from North, I expect everybody in South, in line with our decision, to support. But if APC decides to say it wants to pick somebody from the North and PDP decides to pick somebody from South, I expect all of us who have, on principle, to rally around to support the Southern candidate. So anybody from the South has a right of a shot for the presidency. Simple.
All right. We're still on the question of South presidency and North. Sani Yabagi, former presidential candidate of the ADP, has likened your meeting, that is the Southern Governors meeting, excuse me, as a gang up. That it's like what Igbo and Kano are doing, that you're acting against the national interest. So the question is, are you acting against the national interest? And then one thought democracy was about consultations and votes. So when Southern governors come with the word must, are we talking democracy? Are we talking consultation and votes?
Well, your first question is whether or not we are ganging up. So if you call it a gang up, so be it. Northern governors have been ganging up ever since. So what have they ever said anything about that? Did they ever think about it? There have been holding meetings, not today, not this year. There have been holding meetings several years. They meet in Kaduna. They finish their own meeting, and they arrive almost the same time or the second day in Aso Rock. They are seeing the president. So what is that supposed to mean? It's not a gang up. Do they call us to their meeting? Have they ever consulted about their meetings? So if they want to feel, if they feel that it's a gang up, so be it. But I can assure you, it's not a gang up. We have a right of association. We felt that, look, we have Southwest Governors Forum. There is Southeast Governors Forum. There is South Governors Forum. There is Middle Belt, they have Northwest as, Northeast as. How can it be gang up? We are discussing matters that affect our interests. How can it be gang up? So using the word gang up is an unfortunate one, but as I said, most times I don't want to respond to comments that are being passed by all these people. It's not necessary. It's not worthy of me to dignify it with any reply. But the important thing is this, very clear. You talk about politics being for consultation, for anything. We have taken a decision. I can assure you, we have our strategies. And part of the strategy is consultation. We are consulting, but we don't have to let you know for now. We are not fools. We are not fools. We know what we are doing. And those we know will side with us on this issue that the president should come to the south, even in the north. We are already meeting with them, and we will take. We know it's a matter of number, and we will have the number at the end of the day.
All right, Mr. Governor, let's move on to other issues. But I hope that this governors forum is not becoming a divisive rather than a unifying force. You may want to comment on that. But let's talk about the Petroleum Industry Act. Only 30, just a little over 30 days ago, it was passed into law. Now the president has written to the National Assembly to make some amendments. Now that the president has set the ball rolling on amending that Petroleum Industry Act, what are the areas of interest to you?
Well, to us, there are a few areas of interest or many areas of interest. And you recollect that from our Enugu meeting, we took a decision that the position of the Governors Forum is we abide by it, and we want to continue to push that the Nigerian Governors Forum should at least push for the amendments which we all have agreed. And that is enough for us. Because, for instance, we are talking about ownership and or interests of the state. And we felt that, look, for us, the sovereign wealth fund is better to represent the interests of collective interests of all the states in any company that you set up. And I know that the Governors Forum is still meeting up with them to discuss this, and also a few other areas that we felt can be sorted out. We thank the president that is taking up few points on amendment. Maybe by the time he listens to us, he also now send some of those things to them for amendment, or we ourselves can push it to the National Assembly ourselves. So there is nothing wrong in it. No, a law is not static. So at the point in time, and it's like an organic thing, it can change anytime.
Governor, yes, you've talked about the Sovereign Wealth Fund, but one thought because you want the Sovereign Wealth Fund, not NMPC, to manage the funds of the host community. But the whole idea is for the communities to be impacted by this. So that's why they're going to build, have corporate entities in the community. So one is wondering why you do not want that, but instead the Sovereign Wealth Fund should handle it. And just add to that, you described Tinubu as the Capone of politics. Your visit to him, was it to rub minds on his alleged presidential ambition? Those two questions.
No, bro. Well, I don't. Okay, fair enough. Now, the two questions are very clear. Let me start with the last one. I'd explain this on your medium too. I think it's the same arise. I try to explain that, look, my visit to our leader in London was not to discuss issue of politics, and that I needed to be there. We had several rumors there and there. We went to visit him, and to at least, as we were able to see that leg is well, he's had probably surgery and is cooperating, and all of us are happy about it. And that's all I said. And when you said I spoke the word Capone, I said, look, people probably don't understand it. When you say well, somebody is a Capone, I'm saying that he's the boss of all bosses. There are bosses here. A boss of all bosses is a Capone, and we take him as a Capone here, Southwest, South, and that when he comes back, there will be meetings, and we have to hold meetings with him and co, and all of us will take decisions in the interest of our people. That's what I'm saying. And we had not go there to discuss about 2023 politics at all. And the other matter you raise is, if you remind me,
Impacted directly. You want the sovereign wealth fund, to handle.
Okay, about the sovereign wealth fund. Yeah. Yes, about the sovereign wealth fund, because we believe that NNPC is something like it's a creation of the federal government, and the federal government has got too much stranglehold on NNPC, and if our interests as states must be fully represented, and we have an independent body that will operate for us, all of us, including federal government, are shareholders in the sovereign wealth fund, and that is a better one than going back to NNPC that is already, whether we like it or not, so federal government bias. So there's no way NNPC will say represent interests of states. That's our contention, that we rather have the sovereign wealth fund in which all of us have money, who is now better managed. We need to see the investment that they have carried out, what has happened to funds that they have had. We have absolute confidence in the management of sovereign wealth fund that if they represent our interests, we'll be better off.
Thank you so much, Arakunrin Rotimi Akeredolu, Chairman, Southern Governors Forum and Governor of Ondo State. Thank you for joining us on Newsnight. It's been a delight speaking with you.